Okay, folks, it's Dane at Jonah Guitars. The last video, I believe, was carving these braces down to a point. The next step in that, hearing, it says hearing my top, is feeling the stiffness as I push on it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let it into the rims. The braces into the rims, and I'm afraid that the camera is probably not in a good spot for that. So I'll just talk it through real quick, and then I'll probably move the camera and see. So you're going to want to center it front to back as much as possible. I have about, I'm going to say, I got about 3/16 on the front where my mark is at, and about 5/16 on the back. So I'm going to try to just give myself that much front to back on this thing. So there's that. And then of course you're going to center it on the seam, center of the guitar, on the center of your side, your plate, your rims, and make sure that's where it belongs. And this one is good. You got your X braces and your transverse bar or brace coming through here. So basically you got 1, 2, 3, 6 places to let these braces into the rims. Like I said, check. I'm going to double check it because I've been tapping it around a little bit. Oops, a lot apparently. Make sure it's where it needs to be here. Looks pretty good. Of course, you can't see me eyeballing it, I don't think. So, okay. Now I'll bring you in for a close-up if I can. What I got to do though is basically where these braces come through the rims, I just have to mark them on the side of the guitar. Now the one that goes straight across is pretty easy to do. And I have light colored sides, so I can do that with a pencil and I'll be able to see them. I'm marking them kind of narrow from what they have to be. Now you get to see me. Alright, so right there, right there. Like I said, I'll attempt to get a better camera angle for you. Then this top one, the top side of this X brace is very tricky because it's a very long angle. I think that's about it. And I have very bad knees, so it's really hard for me to get down like that. Okay, I think I got you a better view now. If you appreciate that effort, go ahead and hit the like button. All right, so this is the back end of the transverse brace, or excuse me, the X brace. So just marking right down, I'm just moving it so I can see what I'm doing. So all that work. Okay. And we've got this really long, trying to see where you can see, yeah, sort of. All right, so you got the really long angle on the X brace here, which is coming through right about there. And then right around there. And the transverse brace. And it's hard to get in between the mold and the brace and all that. Let me see, I'm not where I want to be. So the very long one is the one I want. All right, so we're going to transfer those marks to the top of the rim. My hand is right in your way, I see that. So, transverse right here. What happened to my... Oh, there it is. I think that's it. Man. but I'm going to go with that. I'm going to double check that. It's good how I put a weight on here just to keep things in place. I'm going to double check this to make sure that was where I thought it was. And I think it was. Be a drag to take something you worked so hard on up to this point and then just take a wild guess. Alright, so once again we've got the transverse right here, which is pretty easy because it's just straight across. And you got the 2 marks for the X brace here, and then down here 2 more marks for the X brace. Okay, I'm going to take a long straight edge. And line up those 2. Okay, I'm not going to show all of this because it's just the same thing over and over again. And I am cutting a little under, or at least I'm pretty sure I'm cutting a little under the first time. Just trying to keep you in the camera here. Alright, so transverse straight across. Guitar making is basically striving to do everything as perfectly as you can. Now, I'll take a handsaw and cut down. Just score down on this thing now. So I've got my marking gauge here. Got my 2mm thick popsicle stick. And just set it up. Oops. Off of that. So now I am just going to pretty much hold that on this side, and then I can go like so. That tells me how deep my saw can go. Pencil on that line makes it easier to see. I couldn't find my razor saw, so I'll use my little jiu-jitsu. Anyway, now let's put my finger behind the saw to kind of hold it where you want it. And I am going to cut to the inside of these lines. Couldn't find, did I just say that? Couldn't find my razor saw? I would rather this were a push saw, actually, at this moment. Only because I'd rather be pushing toward the inside of this and not have anything tearing out rather than the outside. This is all covered under the binding anyway, so it's not really a thing to worry about. My little razor saw cuts a much more accurate line than this thing. I'd like to get a smaller one of these maybe a finer cut. The last two guitars I used this with this bass, the metal bass. This time I decided to add a piece of plastic to it, which is a piece of plastic that I used years ago in a cabinet shop just for lining up the adjustable holes on the inside of cabinet panels. I've used it for various things. I use it as a radius or a circle cutter. Also, I clamp screw a different route around that, and then it becomes a radius or a circle cutter. I saw somebody else do this, and I like the idea of having the support on that side, so when you're doing this, you can actually you don't have to worry about rocking the router back and forth. The one thing I don't like about it is that I use this old piece of plastic and I can't really see what I'm doing. So I may have outsmarted myself. I may have to come in from this side anyway. I think I can see it if I do that, so we're all good. Before I take off again, I've already set my depth with my faithful popsicle stick right at 2 mil, which is right where my braces are at. That's not deep enough for some reason. Oh, maybe this was rocking. Got to make sure it's down tight. I might have been up a little bit. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I got to clean the rest of that up with a file. I'm not happy about not being able to see that through there, so I may take this apart and try to clean that up so I can actually see through there. All right, so rather than try to polish that out, I just cut a big hole there with a step bit. Then I came back in and touched up this one little slot so it looks good. Wrong way. Once again, my famous popsicle stick. That feels really good. So I might have to file them just a little bit. All right, I think my battery's about out, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of these.